Hey everybody, today Rahdo runs through Gencon, or more to the point, the games of Gencon, which I realize is a bit odd for me. Normally I run through games, but I noticed recently that everybody and their mother seems to be doing a Gencon preview, and I figured, you know what, why not? Why not give it a try? I've been doing game run-throughs in solid, non-stop for the last 20 days, every day, give or take a little bit, and I just thought it'd be kind of nice to try something a little bit different. Just let you know what I think about the games that are going to be there, even though I myself will not, because Indiana is a little bit out of my way considering I'm in Malta. But what the heck, let's just give it a go. Let's see, and I'm sorry about the video down there. I believe my little Samsung NC10 is so slow, I'm sure you're maybe seeing like 3 or 4 frames a second while I'm recording. But what the heck, let's give it a try. Okay, so I'll be going through Eric Martin's excellent Gen Con 2013 preview geek list, which the address for that is in the show notes if you want to go look at it yourself if you don't know where it is. But I'm not going to use the default view. I'm going to use the print view, which I've already preloaded, because that means everything's just on one page and there's no comments, and it's much easier just to read and go through everything one at a time, which we will start with right now. Cards Against Humanity, the 3rd expansion, which honestly I don't really have much to say about because, well, if you're at all familiar with the videos I do, basically I just cover games that my wife Jen and I can play. So if it doesn't play 2 players, not interested. And this is 4 players, so moving on. I'm going to skip a lot of things because they don't support 2 players. But, so that's out of the way. And Conflict of Heroes, Awakening, well, we don't play war games either, and so skipping that, not skipping this. Freedom, the Underground Railroad is a big deal. In fact, actually, I would say this is probably going to be one of my biggest, most exciting games of the year. Really, really stoked for this one. Academy games, they've already had a couple of hits, with the War of 1812 and the new 1775. So they're, switching over into kind of Eurogamey territory, and they're doing a fantastic job of it. And now they're bringing out this, which looks amazing. It's such an incredible theme. Basically helping work the Underground Railroad and helping save slaves from slavery, and I think it's pre-Civil War era United States. I mean, how cool is that? How often do you get to do something like that in game? And I always appreciate it when I'm playing a game that actually teaches me something, informs me about the time and the place that it's trying to portray. So I actually love the fact that this gets listed as an educational game, let alone co-op. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a great game anyway, and so I'm super excited. And now I'm going to predict this is probably going to be one of the more popular games of the show. I wouldn't be surprised if it sells out very quickly. So if I were there, I would definitely beat feet to Academy Games' booth right off the bat on the first day just to make sure I can get mine, because I'd hate to miss a chance at getting it because it just looks so awesome. But anyway, continuing on. So AEG. Agent Hunter, this thing is really cool. I've been paying attention to this one for a while. It's a nice little 2-player game. And normally Jen and I don't really care for memory games. We just don't go for them at all. But this one sounds so nice and simple. Basically, I've got 3 secret cards in front of me. Those are my bases. My opponent has 3 secret cards, and we also have cards in our hand. And what we're trying to do is, I guess, figure out, catch certain agents or figure out what's in the other bases. And so I can use my cards in my hand as freelance agents to try and guess at what's in Jen's or my opponent's bases, or I can reveal my own base to get a lot more information about their base. So that seems like a really clever tension-based mechanism where do I give up too much information to find out what they're doing? And then, of course, there's a lot of bluffing because I can swap the agents out of my bases into my hand and back forth. Or did I swap them? Seems very, very cool. And like I said, normally we don't care for memory, but this thing, there's only 3 enemy bases really to remember, so it doesn't sound like it's going to be that bad. So definitely looking forward to that. And and the big thing is, it's $10. $10. I mean, how could you not? I mean, just walking by, seeing it for $10, just almost get it sight unseen. What's the risk? I mean, that's the cost of lunch. And maybe it'll be great, maybe it won't. But if I were there, I would definitely just pick up a copy, just because it's so cheap. I mean, it just looks it looks like it could be really good. Card of the Dead is another one that looks like it could be really good. Another really cheap $10 card game. Now, I'll admit, I don't know, like so many people, I find the zombies a bit played out, but that art looks really cool. And it could be a really good hand management, set collection game with some zombies in it. And again, it's $10. Why not? I mean, yeah, so anyway, so there's that. Moving on to Love Letter. Now, I have to admit, haven't played Love Letter yet. If I were to, I think I'd rather have the first AEG printing, which is set in their Tempest universe, because I really like that idea of everything all being tied into the same universe. But, it almost doesn't matter, because even though this does support 2, I've heard several times that as a 2-player game, it's really not that great, that it doesn't really shine until you get more players. But if that's wrong, I would love somebody to point that out and let me know, because I'll definitely pick it up. It's been hard to pick it up for quite a while, but now it's not too tough. And so, should I be getting it? Is it good 2 players? I keep hearing it's not. Anyway, let me know. Maximum Throwdown seems like a very cute idea. I remember as a kid, putting a baseball cap on the floor and sitting on a chair and throwing cards into it, trying to, and how cards flip around and stuff like that. And that seems to be what this is, taking that same basic thing that kids do, or prisoners in prison movies do to pass the time, and actually make it into a game with special powers and stuff like that. It's kind of like Augustus took bingo and actually made it into a cool Euro game. This takes whatever you call that, throwing cards into a hat, and turns it into a cool game. Now, it remains to be seen if it's actually going to have any kind of legs, or if it's just kind of like a neat little gimmick. But I really like the idea. It does sound very cute. Nightfall, I don't really know anything about it. It's not a deck builder line we've gotten into, because, quite frankly, we already have enough deck builders. And really, neither Jen nor I are particularly interested in the whole eternal night war between the creatures of darkness, of werewolves and vampires and all that. Just never really cared for that theme, really. There's nothing wrong with it. I can certainly see why a lot of people like it, but it just doesn't really float our boat. And so, why jump onto another, deck builder having to get expansions all the time? But, if you like this game, hooray, it's there. Now, this one, Romance of the Nine Empires, I'm dismissing that right out of hand because of this sentence right here. Collectible card games. I did plenty of that in the 90s, and I do not need to go down that road again. Just not even remotely interested in that, structure for games. And, I'm sorry, AEG, I'm just really not, there's nothing too terribly exciting there, because Smash Up, I've seen the video for, on Will Wheaton's tabletop for playing Smash Up, and it looked like, it was okay, but generally not the kind of game that Jen and I go for. We're really not that much into beating each other over the head with, sticks repeatedly and doing just a lot of area control. Plus, honestly, it doesn't look like it would really be that great with only 2. It looks like it really needs more players to create more, random tension and, and all kinds of surprises, which is often the case with area control. And really, is Cthulhu really that big a deal? Oh well. Thunderstone. Oh, AEG, I'm so sorry. I did say something nice, though, didn't I? About Maximum Throwdown and Agent Hunter? Okay, but anyway, yeah. Well, the thing about Thunderstone is, back when it first came out, I really loved it. Was getting every single expansion. Actually, I have every single expansion except for the stupid werewolves. Where are werewolves? AEG, we need those werewolves. Pre-print them. But anyway, but then, they're doing really great. It was a well-received game, but then they switched over to Thunderstone Advance as kind of a reboot of the whole system, and it was weird. That kind of gave me the excuse to stop collecting, because I felt like, oh, well, I guess I've got the whole first set, and I don't need to start on this new second set. So I haven't really paid much attention ever since Thunderstone Advance came out, because I've got so many Thunderstone cards already, and it's already a great game. It's nice that this thing's adding new stuff. It sounds like monsters that can work together, which sounds very, very neat. I can imagine how that would actually add a lot to the complexity of the game, but still, And then Thunderstone Starter Set, yeah. Trains, though. Okay, now this is the big deal. If you're at all interested in this, be sure to get there fast. In fact, because I bet you however many copies AEG has gotten for this, it won't be enough, and this game will sell out pretty quickly. If I were there and I wanted one, I already have one. I've got the original Japanese version of the game. Really, really love it. It was one of Jen's and my favorite games from last year. Just absolutely top-notch. I've already done a run-through for it. You can watch elsewhere if you like, show how much we love it, and you can demonstrate how it plays. So I'm just saying it's going to be very popular. Be sure you get there fast. Do not miss out on that or you'll be sorry. At least I figure. Let's see, moving on to 8 games. Island Siege. It's a fast-playing forest building and colonization game. And, when I looked this on Kickstarter, I looked at it. It looked really good. Great components. Smooth gameplay, but again, Jen and I are just not that into. Well, we don't really want to hit each other after we build something. If it's a game where we actually, craft something and build it, and it takes time, we don't want to be the ones who tear it down. That's just not fun to us. So that's why we kind of took a pass on it. RAR is a 3-player party game. Rolling Freight, though, big time into that. This is a fantastic game, and we want more maps, especially maps that hopefully these play good with 2 players, particularly the Britain map. Please let the Britain map play well with 2. But even if not, I mean, the game is great without, but more maps is definitely a good thing. Plus, these seem to add new functions like ferries, caravans. Really, really great. Okay, now, I'm going to stop there because, honestly, I don't trust this little program I downloaded to be able to record for more than 10 minutes without screwing up because it makes these files really, really big. And so I'm going to basically keep going, but I'll just do these in 10-minute, give or take, videos. And so I'm going to stop recording now, and if you'd like to watch some more, picking up with Arcane Timon, and we keep on going, you can hit the button that's on screen for the second in my series of Gen Con run-through videos. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, everybody.